Well, good evening, Truck and Tractor Pool fans. What an exciting weekend. A couple of these two, other than myself, got to enjoy themselves out in Louisville, Kentucky last weekend. And we have, as always, Kendra. How's Kendra tonight?
I'm great. 4-day weekend coming up. Thanksgiving, Black Friday. Let's do it.
Cindy's got a 12-hour day today and tomorrow. So we won't be celebrating Thanksgiving until Friday about 4 or 5 o'clock. So, Dave Moore, how's Dave Moore?
Couldn't be better. Just
That's
glad
good.
to be home. Glad to be home and start trying to figure out how we're going to get all this work done in the shop.
Yeah. Where are you going to go pulling now that I guess East Coast is done? That's what I hear, right? No. I'm only kidding.
Yeah.
I want to put a couple of rumors to rest here real quick.
Yeah.
First and foremost, East Coast Pro Pulling is not done. It's never said it was going to be done. So shame on those spreading that rumor. Number two, this guy right here did not get kicked off the Keystone Nationals committee. Okay. If I hear that rumor one more time, I'm going to blow up. I did not get kicked off the Keystone Nationals committee. I resigned because I have my hands full here at home with my
Yeah.
parents. I just want to get that out there right now. If you hear that rumor, smash it because it's not true. In fact, I've been working with the new guy who's building the new website for your ticket purchases. So I'm still kind of involved. I told him I would be as much as I could, but as far as being on the telephone with people, et cetera, no. So anyway, now that I got that off my, that kind of fumes me every time I get to thinking about it.
Yeah.
Some people just have nothing better to do, and that is such a
Nothing
shame.
better to do than to make up stuff that's not true. So, but anyway, that's the truth.
Both
Okay,
both of them's the truth.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And tell us about East Coast Pro Pulling and PPL, Dave.
Well, I mean, it's a lot of work to run an East Coast, and John and Gloria is just overwhelmed with the work, and so we kind of decided, talking with Greg Elsing at Badger State and a couple other member states, years ago at the meetings, they have board of directors, and they split the work up a little bit, and so we formed 6 board of directors on the East Coast, and they're all business guys, and they got a lot of knowledge. I mean, we got Kevin Windsor and Ray Norris and Troy Nails, Lamar Burkholder, Mike Mills. Mike Mills, there's a wealth of pulling experience, and myself, and basically. John and them, they're gonna bring the trailer and set up the track, and she's gonna take care of registration and get some more help to help her in there, and the board of directors are gonna run the show. If there's a problem, you go to the board of director. Um, I mean, it's a lot of work. It's just a lot of work, and Tina and I did it, but we really didn't do it all because we had class reps, and the class reps worked with us really, really good and picked up a lot of things. And the same way with the class reps today. We talked to them at the banquet and told them that, look, you got to, this is part of your job. And they said, well, we don't want to step on anybody's toes. I said, no, we got to run this business, and we need your help. And they said, okay. So I'm excited. We're going to be fine, and keep the show going, and we're going to be great. Okay. And as far as East Coast goes, that's really what I got for East Coast. I did go to Tina and I went to the PPL banquet in Louisville, Kentucky, and I went to a lot of the class meetings. I missed the diesel trucks. I don't know how I did that, but anyhow, I went to their hot farm and their all their meetings. I missed, I guess, the minis and the diesel trucks, and I don't know what else it was I did miss, but the ones that I needed to go to, I went to Pro Stock Tractors. I mean, definitely went to that one. They finally stepped up to the plate and put a limit on the turbo. So the new limit on Pro Stock turbos on the intake will be 6.5 inches. And that's a good thing. It's time to put a limit to it instead of making other classes because they're losing numbers. Fix the problem in the pro stock class so we can go. Yes.
6.5 is big enough.
Yes. There was 12 member states there. The same 12 member states sat in a meeting out there this year and last year with all the bad news that was brought to the plate with Lucas dissolving the ownership of pro polling. And John and Christy told all 12 of us out there last year that we were number one to them. We were first priority. And every one of us wished them well and give them our support. And the same 12 was there this year and congratulated them on how well of a job they done. They brought Larry Richwine on board. Larry's there again, a wealth of knowledge on safety. And the reason they had to bring some help on because some of the stuff that they were sending out to California and have done, John and Christy has to do right now at hands on for them because they own pro polling and not Lucas. So Lucas is a major sponsor, probably the biggest on pro polling, and they got a whole bunch of other sponsors. And they're back. They're running full bore, and I'm proud of them. And we talked about safety, of course, and there's a lot of things that gets overlooked sometimes. I'm going to use for an example real quick, the guy or gal unhooking the tractor at the end of the track. Okay, a lot of times they'll run towards that tractor and sled before the tractor or truck has spun out.
Yes.
They're standing or running beside a time bomb. Okay, because most of them are grenades as soon as they spin out, big time. When a lot of times it happens. So just little things like that. We need to put the unhooker behind the sled, behind the barriers, and let him run up along the sled so that when it stops, they can unhook. And just a lot of little things. But it was a great banquet. Champions out there, they were all good. I mean, I talked to just about every one of them. They're tickled to death with what John and them's doing. I will say the award that I got there, I think it was 2017, Lifetime Achievement Award is pretty daggone special. We went to Van Hazley this year.
Yes.
And he was flabbergasted, and he deserved it. Okay. And Jeff Hurt was there he won the minis and the super alcohol super, and pretty much it was just a good deal. Okay. The meal was excellent. Socializing was excellent. I mean, it was just a good deal.
Yeah. I actually watched the feed live.
Okay.
The banquet itself, and it was good to see the support by the pullers, letting John and Christy know that they support them, stand behind them, and thank them
absolutely
for hanging in there and making this thing. And we got Chase Steinman on here, said, "Nice to finally meet you, Dave." Hopefully we can work together.
I'm not going to get into the story, but I kind of maybe ruffled him a little bit before Louisville. And anyhow, I did not know that. And when I went up to Bob Blank, I waited because it bothered me. I actually found out Mears called me and told me, "Hey, what's going on?" And I said, "Well, that's my fault." And he said, "This is a good guy." And he said, "We need to work with him." Anyhow, when I heard Bob Blank was there signing in at the motel, I went right down and I said, "Bob, I need to talk to this," or introduce me to Chase. Well, there's this young man standing beside Bob, his big smile on his face. And I just told him, I number one, I don't do them things. And anyhow, long story short, I think we're going to kind of partner up a little bit, hopefully on some rules and maybe some classes, and he's good for the sport in the future.
Yeah, Chase, by the way, we're supposed to do a show together. What millennium is that going to be?
What millennium?
Just kidding. I met him at Keystone. I was in one
Okay.
of my scrambled hurries after going after something or after somebody or something. And he stopped me quick and shook my hand and introduced himself. And that's the
Yeah,
last only time I got to really that I remember getting to talk to him much. But,
great young
yeah,
man, and his intentions is in the right direction. And yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully working together a little bit and working to help each other a little bit,
yeah,
and
perfect.
yeah, and Jr. He's one of the young guys, okay,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
and that's
yeah, I
what
know. The
Pulling
rest of
needs
us are
is
getting
young
old.
guys. Yeah, there you go. So
Yeah.
no, great kid. I thought the world of him.
Okay. There you go, Chase. You can reply back now. My but
I think he friended he whatever you do on Facebook when when you want to be a friend
yeah,
and whatever you do. And I told Tina about because I don't do that kind of stuff. But I think she made him a friend on Facebook or whatever. We'll be communicating, Chase. I can tell you that.
yeah. But I wanted to
So
say, yeah, the support was really good. It was a fantastic banquet, and absolutely Van Hazley. You could tell he was like, "What the hell,"
he
you know?
he was flabbergasted. Yeah,
Uh,
he was flabbergasted.
yeah,
Yeah.
Patty kept that a secret from him. Like
Okay.
Van had zero inclination, um, and she brought in a lot of their family and friends for the banquet.
From way far away from him,
From yeah,
apparently.
like there was customers there from Texas and Arkansas.
Yeah.
His son lied to him and said they weren't going to make it, and then showed up with the grandkids.
Yep. It
Yeah,
was great.
Awesome.
it was awesome. We
Yeah.
actually were able to sit at the table with him, and she had asked me
Oh,
to video his reaction.
cool.
And yeah, you can tell in the video that he actually said before I like started showing his face, he's like, it's the Masterson. It's
Yeah.
Masterson.
Right.
And then whenever they started talking about his old C12 or whatever truck it was, he's like,
Yep.
that's me.
Yeah.
He said he's like, he was shocked, and then he looked at Patty, and of course she was starting to tear up.
Yep.
And then he said that's when he knew. And yeah,
Right.
you could tell the rest of the night he was on cloud nine.
Yeah. Sure.
Very, very deserving person. Very deserving person. So
Absolutely.
In 2017, John and Christy contacted Tara, and they told Tara what was going down, but they didn't want Tina to know, and me, of course.
Yeah.
And Tara says, "I can't do this without Mom," and she was bawling. She was so happy, So Tina and Tara knew, but I didn't. I didn't have a clue. I truly did not have a clue. And we always sit with Christy's mom and dad every year out there and get to socialize with them. They're such good people. And we were there talking, and next thing you know, it started talking about things that happened to me, like when I met Tina at the livestock sale. You know what I mean? I thought, I did that, and then I started paying more attention. And yeah, it was pretty special, real special to me. So I know what Van's feeling and how it is. So it's pretty special.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. But anyway, yeah, it was a good banquet. What I seen of it, and a lot of respect. You could tell the respect between the pullers. And
yep.
again, to reiterate how well, it was good to see them actually thank the leadership for sticking out there, sticking it out for them, and giving them a place to pull. And John and Christy has picked up the torch and carried on quite well. So
absolutely. Yep. I even told them it's almost like they're I don't want to say easier to get along with, but they're just it's more energetic this year when I had to call for questions or whatever than it was in the past years, and they're just doing a fantastic job. I mean, and they got good help too,
And the sponsors, holy moly, did the sponsors rally behind them? 4 Mitas tires, 4 sets of Mitas tires were given away. I think Nichols gave away 2 sets. SCS gearbox in the puller. What is it? Just the puller meeting or something? Whatever they call it there.
Right.
Where they give away the door prize. I think SCS gave away like 8 $2,500 gift cards.
Yep.
Like it was just unreal the prizes that were given away. That
Kawasaki give that
the Can-Am away or whatever.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah,
so it was fantastic. It's top notch, I can tell you. And I tell you, you know, Larry Richwine's been a tech director for a long time, and he's going to be a huge asset. You know, they're working on the turbo thing right now, and it's taking time, but you know, we might be another month or two till we find out for sure what we can get, because apparently it's a patent on something or whatever, and they're trying to, and even the company that's making them can't make them fast enough, so there's going to be several people make them, and they're trying to work it out. So you know, there's going to be some changes, and I tell you the truth, over the last 5 years, the more horsepower we make, the faster we go down the track, and there's really not been any updates on rules. You know what I mean? And you know, it's just, you know, but we're doing our part, keeping the people back, jersey walls, you know, just a couple little things. Like I said, the unhooker guy or gal, just be careful there. And then even the flagmen, they got to stay back away from the vehicles a little bit, you know. So we talked about a lot of stuff there, and you know, like I said, Badger State, you know, Greg Elsing. I mean, I remember back at the end of ATPA days when Forrest Lucas called me when I was eating dinner at the motel at our banquet. Told him what was going. He told me what was going on, and he wanted my support. Well, this guy keeps bugging my phone. This Greg Elsing guy. What I'm gonna do? What am I gonna do? Well, I didn't want to say anything. You know what I mean? And because I didn't know who he was and everything. And when we went on board with PPL, I was at a semi meeting up at Tom Lindsay's like 2 weeks later when Badger State was having their meeting, and they actually voted and they went on board. And first time I ever got a message on my phone, and it was from Christy, said Badger State's on board also. And I didn't know what it was, and here was a text. The first text I ever got. We were leaving Tom Lindsay's shop coming down, and the phone did something, and it said Badger State's on board with PPL. And I didn't even know about Texas or anything, but it was a text from Christy.
I'll be darned.
So, but I'm looking forward to it. We're excited. We got been talking to the promoters and got ideas for them, and yeah, it's just it's pretty exciting.
Last week, you know, we had 16 events booked.
Yep.
Already. Not even that was mid-November.
Yep.
16 events booked. So, and more coming. So.
And I mean, of course, between Tara and Gloria putting the information out there so people can start thinking about it, there's a lot of feedback on how come there's only one Boonesboro pool, and the reason is there's only 4 Saturdays in July this year and next year, and we were always the second Saturday. Shippensburg's the first Saturday, we're the second Saturday, and with only 4 Saturdays, the county fair moves up in our date. It's just the way it works out, unfortunately. So anyhow, we had a tractor pull meeting last night in Washington County, and we're leaning towards the last Saturday in June, which is I think the 29th. It's open, so I need to get with Gloria and let them know to put that on the schedule. And I think that's 5 weeks, Kendra and JR. So
yeah,
5 weeks.
Yeah.
If we're 5 weeks away from our pools, that'll be good. They don't want to get closer because they don't want to burn the spectators out. And
getting close to the fair with the pools at the fair and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Getting close to the fair is dangerous too, because then people are thinking, well, I'm just going to be there in a couple weeks, blah, blah, blah. So.
Right. Yeah. So that's we're leaning towards actually, tentatively, we're going to use the 29th of June this year, and it's Ag Center's open for that night and everything. So that's kind of where we're leaning at, and that's where we're going to go with. So,
Chase, if you're reading that, Landis is looking for other hooks out your way. So
you can get them.
The other one was you need 3.0 and 2.6 truck classes. East Coast Pro Pool.
If I recall, 2.6 is not a PPL class. Is that correct? If I remember that right? I don't think pro pulling. I think in some of the member states.
Down in Badger State runs them.
Yeah.
And there's some other organizations out there that run them. 3O I know for sure is, which would be called something pro some, I can't remember.
Limited Pro.
Limited Pro diesel. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can't remember either.
Yeah. 3O.
But
LP, SD, LP. Yeah. Limited Pro diesel trucks. We'll just call them that.
Yeah. The other 2.6 Pro Street, 2.6 Pro Street diesel, and 3.0 is Limited Pro.
Okay.
But I know 3.0 is a big PPL class out, especially in the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, how's more motorsports doing? I guess we'll ask that next question.
There's several engines and blocks, and the front half of a red tractor sitting here waiting on the dyno.
So yeah, I think there was an exciting addition to the shop here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was really and truly, it was our next step. Okay. Yeah. We were shipping guys stuff out that wouldn't take no for an answer. And, to ship them out, you got to ship them somewhere where, you trust a guy, he's not going to deliberately blow it up. He's going to get more horsepower and dial it in. And we work with a guy and he's a great guy. And it's just the amount of work to get it ready to ship and then get it back and unwrap it. It was time. It was time. And Davey's got a little 466 on there right now, like a 3LM turbo. He's been playing with making sure everything on the dyno is working. We had water injection pressure sensor wasn't high enough, and just a couple little things. But he got like 700 horse and 1,600 foot-pounds of torque out of this little thing, and he tweaked the fuel a little bit, gained 100 and some horsepower, and tweaked it again and lost 50. So back it up where it was at.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But there's a interstate tractor, red interstate tractor. I don't know. You probably don't know who that is, do you, Kendra?
No ideas. No.
It's sitting
I'll
here.
have to really think on that one.
Yeah. Well, Ben and him. I mean, there it goes.
Yeah. I mean,
they dropped it off last week, and our biggest thing right now is building carts to fit the bell housing so we can slide them into our dyno, because a John Deere is different than International. And then we got a couple calls. There's going to be 2 or 3 Ford engines coming and some more Internationals, and Davey's booking stuff, I can tell you.
Book him, baby. Book him, Dano. Davo.
He's got 10 or 12 right now booked just for the dyno plus all the other stuff. Still working on Mr. Beckley's motor. Got everything, just taking time now to machine some stuff and get it done and get it together. So it'll be ready to go out here shortly. So it's just sometimes when I come in here and there's motors sitting everywhere, and you just got to think what I'm going to work on first. So I asked the boss, and he tells me.
Yeah, like where do you start? I totally understand that feeling. Your to-do list is so long, it's just where do you start?
Well, I just would never believe that, really. I used to work on farm tractors all the winter long and, rebuilding them for farmers and stuff, and I would have never dreamed that we are backlogged that much just on pulling stuff. So... And it's a lot easier to work on the pulling stuff than it is the farm tractors, because you don't have all that electrical stuff and the hydraulic stuff to deal with and the radiators and all that crap.
Oh, especially in today's world. Holy moly.
Oh, yeah. I still do a couple of engines, and injection pumps like the Riesenmaster pumps. I do a lot of them, but it's just small stuff. But, we're... Thanksgiving, I always had it at my shop for the families and friends. And since Davey built his building, it don't take near as much time to clean his building as it does mine. So Thanksgiving dinner's in his shop tomorrow. And I spent about 8:30 this morning. I was peeling sweet potatoes because nobody likes to peel sweet potatoes here. Tina she got home from work and she's just been cooking and baking stuff all day long. So, we're ready for tomorrow. So anybody wants to come, they're welcome to come.
Be careful.
And make sure you compliment the sweet potatoes.
Yeah. Hey, you don't have to worry. They'll be good. I'll make
Not
the
a
sweet
speck of
potatoes.
peel left on them.
Nope. I'll make the gravy. Tina does the scalloped oysters. And we fry our turkey. That just is far by the best way to eat turkey. I mean, we fry our turkey every year. So we're ready.
Good.
So I'm excited about pulling it. I mean, really and truly, I talked to pretty much all the promoters, and they're on board. And with this 4-wheel drive class that we took on down here from Berryville. Been a lot of questions about that, and I got to get with Brad on what he wants for dates and stuff. And actually, Troy's working with him, and we're trying to divide the promoters up that the board of directors in their area can just contact the promoters, and sometimes they got questions and everything.
So I know there was some questions about the new truck class. Can we go ahead and talk a little bit about that?
Like, sure.
What's the difference between the trucks we have now versus the new trucks? Because I know smoky things. I don't know those noise makers.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm not going to be. I'm truly. That's really a Troy.
Mm-hmm.
My ear thing keeps coming out.
Smaller cubic inch.
Yeah, smaller.
They don't run a cut tire. They run a DOT, like a Trexus, or whatever you pronounce them, type tire. Open drive line. They run hard.
Yep.
They run very hard. Very good.
Chad Mackey's got a class similar, almost identical to it down in the Carolinas. Mm-hmm. Okay. And Troy looked at several of them before the Berryville pool we had, and it's not going to take very much money, just a little bit of work, some shielding and this, that, and the other, and they're going to be right where they need to be to meet our specs. Right. So it's not going to take them much work. It's not going to take them, a lot of money. Just, some driveline shielding's got to be changed, a couple little things, and Troy's got them on board, and he's going to take care of that. So, yeah, a good bunch of guys. And girls. There's, I think was there 8 of them or 10 of them, JR? I'm not real sure. 8 or 10.
There should be at least 8.
Okay.
Most likely 10. And, I talked to a couple of them there in between tech and vehicles with Scott. And they just are looking for a place to go run, I guess. I'm not going to say prestigious, but step up.
Right.
Speak, so.
They're, I don't know that they're going to want to go to West End or something like that there, but
make the trip to Schuylkill.
It's like and it's like the Virginia, like down in Berryville, and like Harrisonburg or Luray or them places like that there. I mean, they've called me and want to know talked about having a pool there, and so and Mike Ziegler brought this up that we don't want to take pools away from our modified truck guys.
Yeah.
But there's areas in Virginia where they'll run both. They'll run both classes.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm saying a pool in Virginia that won't run them both, and they can sell them together. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah. And that's going to be up, the class reps, same way at the board of directors when they call them. We're not going to try to take a class out that's been there forever. And then on the same token it's the promoter is what the promoter wants. I mean, like PPL, they pick the classes and tell the promoters what they're going to get. And I've always done it, let the promoters pick, because some of them want, pro stock tractors, some of them want hot farm tractors, and, this, that, and the other. And I usually always let the promoters pick what they wanted. So they're going to have hooks, and we're not going to take anything away from modified 4-wheel drives. Nope. If anything, go ahead.
You'll find them double booked with double booked. They'll be booked with the modifieds, I'm sure.
Yes, and that's probably what I'm thinking too. And I'm not saying that. We're not going to take the modifieds out for the they're called pro stocks, but probably run them together a lot of times, a lot of places.
And they are a smaller purse.
Yep.
And there's a lot of venues that need those kinds of classes. So.
Yeah.
That's the fact of life.
Yep. So
Like
I mean, it's right. Right.
Right, Kendra?
Right.
See,
I don't know
she
what
agreed.
you said. I was looking for
I said
something.
just like the 3 O's, right?
Yeah.
I'm excited. I think we got a
Dave
good
missed a
lineup.
really exciting meeting there.
I guess I did.
Yeah, but whose 3 O trucks were they?
PPLs.
I know, but not nobody from out here, right?
No, they weren't our three. They weren't our 3Os.
Little different breed, sort of.
Yeah.
Chase. I don't know what Chase has got going too, because he might have some places that want some of our classes to come pull with him too, and and I mean that's why we're going to work together.
Absolutely. Make this thing go tick-tock.
Yep.
No, and I think in today's world of pulling, you have to. Our area is so dense with pulling, not with, with different classes, with different organizations, it just makes sense to work with each other, not against each other.
We've always, East Coast has always worked with Interstate together back and forth, and it was a good relationship, and there's no reason why you can't do that.
Well, and we were going to co-sanction a couple events this year, like down in Easton in April or whatever. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, it's we've always worked together, and I mean, and they got good insurance, also. So I mean, that's the ticket to it all. Is that you got to have insurance and good insurance, and and they do. I mean, so and like I said, we worked together. I think we were both stronger. Back, I won't say we're not working together, but back when when it was only the two organizations, it wasn't all the other ones. We were really strong and worked strong together. Yep. So,
we just keep I'm trying to at least every other day get something out there for 2024.
On
social media and need my butt kicked for not doing it sooner. So. But we're doing it now.
We all got stuff to do, JR, and sometimes we just got to back off and push like our pulling here a little bit. We kind of backed off and didn't push it hard, and we got to keep it. We got to push everything hard. That's business, I mean, I'm in the chemical fertilizer and seed business, and if I lax a little bit, I don't get the sale. You know what I mean? So you gotta go for it.
Right.
You got to go for it. Yep, absolutely.
It's
absolutely.
It's a good thing. Like I said, it is really looking up. And like I said, I mean the C16 events are already in agreement. By before mid-November, really, it was just fantastic.
Right.
That brings the morale level from here to way up here.
Well, even the pullers see. I mean, I know they don't have the classes yet, but I think most pullers pretty well knows what classes is going to be there. Yeah. Anyhow, but got an idea, and it's pretty exciting, and that way they can schedule their any vacations they're going to want to take, or get away. They can schedule around the pools like they normally do, and it's just good to get them out early.
I know. And I probably shouldn't speak of any other events that's not on the schedule yet, but I'm just going to say, talking word of mouth, Pocomoke City is interested again. Don't know how that's going to pan out.
Right.
And I know there's a few others. So, but that was the one that stuck out to me because we've been pulling there for many years. And
right.
Well, and Delaware didn't. I just pulled up the updated 2024 polling schedule. And Delmar's on there now too.
Yes. Right. Yep. Yeah. Him and John had to communicate with him after the banquet just to double check, and I kind of pushed them not to go into October.
We appreciate that.
Yes. I mean, I guess I don't want to be old school, but when Frederick Fair's there with it, it's time to be winding down.
Yeah.
And, but I mean, if we can go to the end of September, I'm good. And you get into October, it's time to put it in the barn and think about other things.
You don't realize how busy antique tractor pulling gets after.
Oh, yeah.
September. Holy moly, they kept me going week after week after week.
Yep, absolutely.
Antiques count too.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I've had a good time with them. I actually have.
Pulling, hey, it don't matter what. Pulling's pulling. You know what I mean? It's just it's all those champions that got up out there at the PPL banquet. Every one of them. Kendra, you can back me up on this.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of them said it's the greatest family sport out there.
Absolutely right.
Didn't they talk about being a family sport? Yeah.
Great place to raise your kids.
Yes.
I grew up around the sport. Yeah, everything.
Yep. It was just great, and I talked to Bill Leishner probably for an hour there, and I was asking him how long he's been pulling, and then the next thing you know, this young girl sits down beside of me at the table with another guy. And it's his granddaughter. I mean, he's got a granddaughter that's a teenager. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh my goodness!
That guy had his whole family there. Holy
yes. Jeff Hurd had his whole family there. I'm pretty sure his mom was there. I know his dad was, but I'm pretty sure his mom was there. So his whole family would have been there, and Bill Leishner's deal, and
Masterson's kids were there.
Yes,
at least some of them. I don't know if they all were, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just, and every one of them when they got up there just talked about how great a family sport this is, and it truly is.
Well, look at the Nelson family, Bethany Nelson. Their entire family pulls.
Yep.
Brothers, sisters-in-laws. That I can't keep that family tree straight, but
that's a big family, and they're great people. They're good people, good pullers. And their heart's in it.
Really miss John Muma.
Yeah, I know.
I used to deal with John Muma back when he was flagging some of Clint's events, like the Winter Nationals and even Cloverdale, and we'd chat back and forth there a good bit in between vehicle runs and stuff. And miss him and miss. I'm horrible with names because I haven't seen him in so long. The other fella used to flag with him, real tall fella. Used to run 2-wheel drives. I can't think of his name.
I think that's old age, JR, because I'm having the same problem. But
I'm forgetting a lot of things. I think some of my dad's starting than me earlier in age.
Tina and I were sitting in the farm show, and we got this word that John was in an accident, and I just couldn't believe it. And then, you know what I mean? It's just, and I felt so bad for him, and it's tragic. It's a tragic accident, And I remember walking the pits out there, and one time we were out. We went for like, I don't know, 20 or 30 years to watch, and we had meetings there, and when we had time to pull, we put our applications in and go out and pull. I love pulling out there, but it's the problem with my daughter-in-law teaching school, my grandson's in school, and Tara's got her, her hands full with her 2 little ones, and it's, we're just busy that time of year. And then my snow stuff, and Davey works for the state, and when it snows, he's got to go in and works, all kind of hours. But anyhow, Tina and I was walking through the pits. Somebody kicked me on the heel and said, he calls me Mr. Moore. And I turned around, it was Don Masterson. And he said to me, I want to thank you and your family for all the promotion you do for truck and tractor pulling. And, I thought that was kind of neat. Don was a good guy. That whole family's good people.
Mm-hmm.
When it's all said and done.
Jim Austin.
Yeah. Everybody in pulling's good people. It's just the way it is. It's neat.
Well, there's this one thing they call a pickle. You got to watch him every now and then. I saw him on stage too, man. I never saw a pickle wearing blue jeans before.
They were brand new blue jeans too.
I know. Oh, wow.
Wow. Brand new blue jeans for Norman. Look out. And I bet I know who went out and got them for him.
Yeah. Wearing jeans with paint stains all over them.
It's a working man.
That's right.
Not that weekend.
Wow. Well, that's good. That's good to hear that things are. I know where we stand. I know we're in great shape. We're not just in good shape. We're in great shape for 2024. there's a lot more good stuff coming. So.
Right. Yep. And I mean, guys like Kenny at Accurate Ag. I mean, he stepped up and was a sponsor, and I mean, we maybe probably should have pushed his advertisement a little harder, but this having a sponsor solely for East Coast is kind of new, but he's a great guy, and he's a friend of mine too, and he's just a great guy, and he's got a nice business going there. And some of my customers, I know one of them for sure has a drone and does a lot of work with his drone. I mean, a lot of
great
work.
Concept. It's a fantastic. I've never really gave it any thought until the first Greensboro, Maryland event. Scott said something to me, and I walked over and I looked. I said, "What a fantastic setup that is!" And I realized, oh wow, they're a sponsor for East Coast Pro Pulling. We want them back for sure.
Yep. Well,
fantastic concept.
Yep. We just got, I guess, in the long and the short, we're not used to having our own sponsors, and we just gotta advertise more for them, and you know what I mean, really push it, and hopefully we can work things out and keep him on board and everything. So, and we're working on some new stuff too. I printed off some paperwork today, and then Mira's supposed to send me some paperwork and print off, and we're going to go talk to some people, and I've already got some contact people called and asked about, hey, we'd be interested. So we're going to go see what they want, what we can do for them, and what they can do for us.
Go get them. Absolutely. Make it happen. Yep. Yeah, I don't know what we could, we give them banners. I think verbal announcements at the polls, make sure the announcers are on top of it.
Yep.
Social media.
And like I said, make sure the announcers got it and press that he needs that to talk about them. You know what I mean? Brian Yeager's great at it. If he's got the information in front of him, he's great at it. We just got to get the information to the announcers and explain them that this needs to be talked about.
Get them on the flyers too.
Yep. I mean, absolutely, everything.
Tara's been doing a great job. She just, as we announced, she won the Gary Mills Award, Person of the Year, for her good work in getting the social media thing going. And watch out, Tara, you got your hands full now. 'Cause I won't give you a run for your money. I'm just kidding. Yeah, we work good together, I think. And I told her any pictures she needs, all she's got to do is holler at me. I got them. We shot some photos at the banquet, and I put the album out there, but I guess I got to start sharing them individually. So it takes up a lot of time.
Well, yeah, people don't realize. People don't realize it, JR. And
I can't understand how in the hell all them years I did all that and still work a full-time job, and I'm thinking sitting here today, how the heck did I do all that?
Let me tell you something. There's times where Tina and I looked at each other at the dinner table and said, how do we do it?
Mm-hmm.
How do we do it? Because I don't think we could do it today. I know we could. Okay. It's just, I don't know how we got it done. I really don't.
Yeah. We got a little message here real quick.
Okay.
Oops. Wrong one. There we go.
Oh, Dylan. My second favorite baseball player.
Hi, Dylan.
Hey, Dylan.
Yeah, he's my buddy. I got him and Tara's two, a little boy and a little girl, and she's a little girl's card. Man, she's ready.
Thank you, Clint. Right back at you. Have a good Thanksgiving, buddy.
Yep, everybody have a good Thanksgiving. Tomorrow's Family Day, and have a good Thanksgiving. And JR, I'll eat for you tomorrow, JR. You can eat for me on Friday. Then
I've got to stop eating because I'm telling you, my knees are screaming at me. You've had enough.
I'm the same way. I ate so daggone much out in Louisville last week. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, we got a ham this year. I'm actually cooking the ham. We'll start Friday morning, I guess.
Well, my sister-in-law is bringing a ham, so we're going to have a ham with the chopped oysters and the
Oh,
turkey and everything else we're having. So
yeah, it's only a 2-hour ride, so I could drop her off during her 12-hour day and just
she'll never even know you're gone.
Central West for a couple hours. As long as I'm back here by 7, we'll be okay.
Yeah.
I fuss at my wife because when we're done Thanksgiving dinner, there's still enough food to do it again the next day.
Yeah,
There's that much food, okay?
sure.
So, but yep.
That's awesome.
So,
okay, well, we're 46 minutes into it. We ain't got to last an hour for done. We're done. It's fine with me. And everybody's gonna have a busy day tomorrow. So, but
yep.
I don't. Gosh, I'm trying to think. I mean, everything's in place. The wheels are rolling for 2024. So that's good to know. And
when I had to go over some stuff in the hot farm class on the rules for tires, and he point blank told me what the rule was going to be. So Alan Lynch has got the rules from Mears on the way it's going to be, and he's getting them out to everybody. So,
and that's something I want to say. Alan Lynch is a new class rep for that class.
Yes,
Radar stepped away, being on the board of directors now, and Alan Lynch took his place. So.
Yeah, and even Ray said, with his farming operation and everything, and Alan's got a job too. But I mean, he's in pulling, and he talks to a lot of people, and he knows a lot of people, and he just plain out said, not just because I'm a board of director, but Alan's our guy. So I said, okay, if Alan's fine with it, I'm fine with it. I know Alan. He's a good guy.
Yep,
he'll be fine.
Yep, he's fun to poke fun at, but you can have a serious conversation with him too. And
sure,
he's down to earth, and no BS. So
he had a holiday yesterday, wasn't it? His birthday.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I was going to tell him my business was closed because of his birthday, but I didn't.
I forgot
basically
about that.
a national holiday.
I could have bought him a case of Tootsie Rolls for his birthday. I forgot about it. So that's an inside joke. He'll get it if he listens to this.
Kendra,
in fact, I'll get a message about it.
You'll have a big dinner tomorrow, probably, right? At the Price Farms?
Our Thanksgiving dinner is the first Saturday in December.
Oh, really?
We pushed it back. Yeah, so we won't have our Thanksgiving till.
Oh, okay.
Give us time to rest after the first Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We can have the real big.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like Aunt Ruth will do for her family, but the big Price family will be the first, when we do 75 pounds of mashed potatoes and
there you go.
45 pounds of turkey and 30 pounds of ham,
So that'll be
just a little bit of food.
Will that be the week that Dale gets his knee replacement?
Before. Right before.
Yep, right before. Yep, the 7th, I think.
Yeah.
He's
getting
it done. Yep.
Wow.
Well, I don't know if anybody needs anything else from me or not, but I mean, I'm good to go, JR, if whatever you want to do. And Kendra, you guys have a good Thanksgiving. And if anybody needs anything or questions about anything, call the board of directors. Their numbers on the East Coast Pro Pulling website.
That's eastcoastpropulling.org.
Yep.
rg.org. So.
Yep. And with the contracts that went out, all the board of directors' names and phone numbers was in there. If any of the promoters had a question, they just they can give them a call.
Yep.
So
exciting things to come.
Yep.
In 2 short of months.
Oh, I know.
What, 5 months away? 5.5 months? First pull?
Don't even say it. We haven't even unloaded ours yet. Theirs is still out in the trailer sitting. So,
it's getting ready to get cold.
Yeah, they're not winterized, so we need to get them unloaded probably Friday.
Yeah.
Because after Friday, I think it's going to get cold. But anyhow. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, have a good Thanksgiving, and we'll be talking.
Yep.
All right. Thank you for coming
on. Coming on.
Yep. Take care. Thank you.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. He went upside down.
Is he getting it?
He's still there.
There he goes. Maybe. There he goes. But no, yeah. First time I'd been down to Louisville for the PPL banquet. It was insane. Super nice hotel. It was one of those hotels like all the rooms are on the outside and the center was open. Yeah, wasn't a fan of that. We were like on the 17th floor. It's like you walk out and just no, I'm good.
Sounds like a cruise ship.
Yeah, it was exactly like a cruise ship. I was like, I'll just stay over here by the wall where it's secure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, food was great. A lot of really nice. I mean, their smallest door prizes were Milwaukee tools. It's like unreal, the sponsorship down there. Fantastic organization. Praise to John and Christy, man. They took. You would have never known that it was just a year ago that Lucas Oil dissolved ownership. You would have never known that. Never skipped a beat. It's awesome. The puller stood behind him 100%, and you can tell. Interesting to sit in on the class meeting. Meeting Larry Richwine. Yeah, and the weirdest thing was, you're walking through the hallways of the hotel or whatever, and you're like, oh, like we're walking to breakfast the first morning we're there, we're like, there's freaking Kevin Masterson. In my opinion, he's like, the celebrity of the pulling world.
And
it's like, it's like all these guys that you hear about on Champions Tour, and you're like, oh, they're just, sitting here chilling in the hotel lobby, waiting on our $13 breakfast. But
that young man has been pulling a long time,
and
very good at it, just like his dad. Very, very good at it. So, top-notch equipment, top-notch driver, top-notch people. They really are. I've met them. Talked to his dad a few times out to Gordyville years back with Robert Martin and them, and fantastic conversations with those guys. Good people.
Yeah, it was just really cool to, pulling has been such a huge part of my life for so many years. And to be down there and, see people that, you grew up watching, people that, you still idolize now. Like,
sure.
People that you're, when we're on the way home from an East Coast pull and we're looking at the NTPA results, looking at the PPL results, and you're like, holy crap, they're sitting right there.
Yeah.
And, being down there with Smokey and Marty and Shane, as they got to accept their Silver Series awards and get to make fun of Smokey for his lackluster acceptance.
Oh, he did fine. He spoke more words than I gave him.
He had his speech in his pocket, and he didn't get it out.
He didn't get it well.
Bless his heart. He'll have to win again next year and try it again.
I'm very capable of that, I'm sure.
Yeah. But yeah, being there with Van, getting his Lifetime Achievement Award. Obviously, Van is Norm's engine builder and just, a friend we have through the pulling organization. I mean, shoot, we went to a late lunch, early dinner with them right before the banquet. So, it's pretty cool to see that and to see not only, the greats of the sport, but then to see the up and comers.
Oh, yeah.
Like Rhett Parrish got Puller of the Year or whatever that is, somebody who's very, very young and going to be pulling for the next 50 years, to see both ends of the spectrum in one place is just really something special.
A lot of years of pulling in the Parrish family.
Yep.
Super stock, pro stock, still pro stock now, but that's family history there. It goes back a good ways.
Yeah. And, Dave talked a little bit about, Jeff Hurt, winning points champion in Unlimited Super and Mini. They said that's only been done a handful of times,
right.
To have one puller winning points championships in two classes in the same year.
But now, when I remember that being brought up, I didn't hear Leslie say the same year. I just heard a puller winning two championship in different classes.
Oh, I don't know.
I wasn't sure about in the same year.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's ever been done in the same year.
I'm sure it has.
Yeah, but that's, an incredible feat in and of itself, especially on Champions Tour. It's not taking anything away from East Coast, but all of our pools are fairly close together. Champions Tour, they're everywhere.
Yeah,
Iowa into Ohio, all over the map. And I think there was one pool one day where he had 2 pools in 2 different places, and he was still able to pull off the championship, which is incredible.
Huh.
So
that's great.
But yeah, it was a great time. I don't know if we'll go again. I don't know if it'll be an every year thing, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, my day's coming. I'm going to get out there. I'm going to go to that. I've been saying it. I come real close a few years back and didn't get to go, but I'm going.
Yeah, one year we'll have to get Mr. Newswanger to run Silver Series and see if we can capture that feat.
Yeah. So. It's only money, and it's only time, and it's only mileage.
Yeah, just money and time.
Everything.
Just money and time. So.
But he had a good year. Norm's. He opens a lot of eyes. Good driver.
He had a great year.
Man. He knows how to set his truck up, and he's tough to beat. He's a tough cookie. Yep.
He's got an excellent support crew.
Uh-huh. Yes, don't let Kendra drive. She'll get you lost. I didn't want to say anything, but
sure.
Our buddy Clint.
I don't get lost. I just get misdirected. Well, I still find my way there usually.
There you go.
This might take me a little longer.
All right. Well, I've had about enough for one evening, so no offense to anybody. I'm tired. I actually fell asleep. I had to go pick her up. These 12-hour days, she's got to walk a long way to get to her car in the dark. That's why I take her to work and bring her home. So that and her back Monday, she got approved for her shot. So Monday, that shot's coming in her back. So hopefully that takes care of the problems. So
fantastic.
Yep. She'll be running circles around me again. Okay. Like, subscribe, share. Please hit that thumbs up button for us. Dave Moore, we appreciate you coming on here. Great information. Things look great for 2024. I'm ready to start this weekend. Let's just go. But I know we all need a break.
Give me a little bit of a break.
Thank you, Tyler. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We appreciate anybody and everybody that comes on here and gives us an ear while we're live and even after the fact. So I've been a little lax and not sharing the show around like I should, but I'll get on it. Life is very busy here, but I'll get back to it here. We're starting to inch our way into a little more time here and there, but it's still pretty busy here. So taking care of Pops, he's doing good. Moving just ever so little bit on his own, but you still got to be there just to make sure he doesn't bounce off the floor. So, but getting better. The hard part's getting all the other stuff straightened out for him. Like the little device that connects to his what do you call it? That thing. Rhythms your heart. Pacemaker.
Yes, pacemaker.
We implanted a pacemaker, and it's been since July. Today, the machine finally got properly hooked up to him today. Since July, people, I've been on the phone left and right with the module company and University of Maryland, and finally today I got the right person on the telephone. And you know what? It wasn't even 10 minutes and we were done. Everything's working.
That's the infuriating part.
That's simple. You just got to get a hold of the right person. So, but you too, Lynn Clark. Thank you, and happy Thanksgiving to you. Happy Thanksgiving to all, and definitely Chase. Yeah, we'll make that show happen, man. I'll put on.
All right, that'll be a lot of fun.
I'll put on my Sasquatch wig and stuff. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, we'll have. He does podcasts too, and he asked me a while back that if I'd come on and do one with him. I said absolutely. So maybe we'll just both sneak in there and surprise him.
Yeah.
We'll get it one hell of a podcast. For sure. But okay, we're at an hour. I'm not going to ramble on anymore. I'm going to go get some rest. Kendra, happy Thanksgiving. Sounds like you're in the same boat as me.
Y'all too.
A delayed meal. So, but everybody, be safe in your travels. Love your family. Believe me, love your family as much as you can every day. So, we'll see. Probably, I guess next Wednesday, if I'm not still rolling around the house full of ham. So, you know me, I got to find all my tabs here. Okay, that said, Kendra, we'll shoot for a show next Wednesday. Probably it'll be 7 or 8 o'clock. We'll let you know.
Yep.
See ya.
Happy Thanksgiving.